An 8-figure exit. Does money actually make you happy? The most important math equation you'll ever look at. The best gift you can ever give. And I'm building a new program. Now, before we dive into it, guys, I need to make a quick announcement. This is pretty bananas, okay? 2 months ago, we changed the guarantee on our LIA group coaching program. 6 figures and pipeline profit in 12 months, or we will continue working with you until you hit that number. There is no program in land or maybe even otherwise with a guarantee like that. Landinvestor.co/apply. That's where you're going to apply. We'll hop on a call. We'll see if you're a good fit. We'll try to understand your vision, understand where you're at, and see if we can help you. Now, inside of LIA, we just work with people that are really 0 to 24 months into land. That is our sweet spot. We work with people that are looking to build a 6-figure, multi-6-figure land business in the first 12 to 24 months with the goal of them growing obviously beyond there. But that's really our sweet spot. We have mastered the process to build these businesses in that little cohort. We just serve a niche of a niche of a niche, and our playbook just serves that niche of a niche of a niche of a niche. Everything we do is very, very niche, if you will. So landinvestor.co/apply. Come book your call with us. Come chat. Also, somewhere else on the screen here, you're going to see my Twitter. I put my Twitter somewhere over here. I'm tweeting now. I'm a twatter, and it's quite fun. Just kind of Sumner stream of consciousness. I'm talking crap, sharing some stuff. Come hang out. Come give me some love over there, and maybe I'll stick around. I tried it a few months ago. Didn't really like it, but I'm coming back with a vengeance. So come hang out with me. So I've got this weird thing, okay? I am like a deadbeat dad with businesses. That sounds horrible. But what I do is I come up with these business ideas. I kill it. I come in the first 2 years. I'm like a force to be reckoned with. I put my everything into building these businesses. And that's really my sweet spot. Both the ideating, both figuring out where to find customers, figuring out how to service customers where it's still profitable from the business. Like that's the stuff that I love. And I'm getting to that point where I'm ready to build something else. In fact, I am time stamping this and calling my shot now. I firmly believe that in the next 5 years or less, I will have an 8-figure exit from selling one of these businesses, but it's not going to be in land. It will be outside of land. And I'm thinking about trying to do this in public and building in public. And now I know this YouTube channel is dedicated to land investing and all that stuff, but also I want to express other things going on in my life. Maybe I'll create a secondary channel. You guys can let me know in the comment. But there's one idea that I've been noodling on for a very long time. It's a very important problem that hardly anyone's talking about that affects about 50% of the people watching this video right now. And the thing is, it's only getting worse. And there are people trying to solve this problem, but they're on two ends of the extreme. No one's solving it right down the middle. And that's what I want to do. Now, I'm being deliberately vague because I'm going through this process where I'm trying to talk myself out of it, okay? I'll spend the next few weeks shooting this idea down, trying to talk myself out of it. And if this idea survives, if the inspiration still survives, then I know I've got something on my hands. And I promise you, this business could not be any different than the stuff I'm doing now, both in terms of the actual business model and the problem that's being solved. But the cool thing is, again, if you're watching this video, about half of you watching this video suffer from this problem right now, whether you recognize it or not. And it's a big fucking problem. It's not like a small problem. Like this is the kind of problem that affects your day-to-day existence. So more on that to come. And I've always built these businesses that are like more cash flow based businesses. Really, there's no equity in them. You know, Land Insights has equity. LIA has some equity. Land Business, 0 equity. But even though still, I mean, Land Insights is an equity play, I suppose. But we'll most likely hold that business forever. It just kind of parks right into everything else that we're doing so seamlessly. But I want to try to build a business with the intention of selling it. Okay. A business where I'm not looking to take fat dividends. I'm looking just to reinvest, grow, absorb as much of that market as I can, and then sell to a strategic buyer or a competitor or fill in the blank. On that note, right, talking about money, I've always wondered, does money make me happy? Does money make other people happy? In fact, this is something that we kind of all think about, right? And as a guy that's dedicated a lot of his life to things that have money involved, you would think that I'm hyper motivated by money. And oddly, I'm really not. Like, I think I love the creation of business. And when I said I was a deadbeat dad, I didn't finish that thought. What I mean by that is I come in, I build these businesses. I'm not the guy to raise them. I'm not the guy to operate them. This is something that I'm currently learning in the businesses that we have, of finding people that are better operators, finding people that are just frankly smarter than me in that regard. And so I can go out there and keep on doing what I love to do and what brings me energy. And that's ideating, that's creating. Those are the early days of a business where it's scrappy, hand-to-hand combat. I love that. I do not enjoy the complexity of businesses as they grow. So I'm the guy there to get it pregnant. I'm bouncing out. Luckily, I'm not that kind of person when it comes to being a dad. But in business, you gotta know your strengths and weaknesses. And shout out to all the good dads. So anyways, I love playing games in business, and money's obviously involved. And of course, like, I didn't grow up with a lot of money, so it's always been a shiny object. I'm not gonna lie. I've wanted money during my life, and a lot of times I wanted money for very like pragmatic, I'm tired of eating top ramen problems. Not so much like I just want a fat bank account and keep on growing it. I think the richest people are the people that know when enough is enough. That is real wealth to me. I think a lot of people in this business game take it way too far. So anyways, there's this classic money study. It says $70,000. They say everything past $70,000 in annual income is essentially diminishing returns. Essentially, it doesn't make you any more happy. So they say $70,000 to $300,000, no real appreciable difference. And this was always told to me as a kid. It's a very very famous money study. And it always seemed a little crazy to me. Now, one thing is important to know, this study is 20 years old. So that $70,000 is probably $125,000, $130,000 today, maybe even more. God, who knows? But here's the thing. If you actually look at this chart, you do see that it does creep up. This money study, there's still an appreciable difference as your income raises past $70,000. And part of me wonders, was this just propaganda to keep people playing it small on a W-2? I really don't know. Because again, if you look at this graph, it does increase. And my experience has been that yes, your life does continue to improve with money. It absolutely does. There's no shadow of a doubt. Does money create happiness overall? No. But money definitely makes finding happiness a lot easier. When you're not suffering from money problems, when you're not just trying to keep your head above water, you get to explore other parts of yourself. You get to explore other areas of your life that you can't explore when you're in this struggle and this fight and this survival mode. And growing up, love my mom. I mean, the best ever. But I saw that growing up. She worked so damn hard to keep her head above water, to take care of her kids. And she did a damn good job, but it was all consuming. Would she have been happier had that not been her reality? I think so. I do. And so if anyone's told you that money doesn't make you happy, it's a yes and a no. I can tell you for sure that not having money makes you unhappy. Living in the modern day world in any Western country where the cost of living is high, if you were below the poverty line, I guarantee you your happiness index is lower. Now, the problem is us business guys or just people in general, they get a little taste, right? They go from 70K to 700K in annual income. And damn, does that feel good? That's a big effing jump. But as you go from, $1 million to $2 million a year, it's a jump, but it's not like life changing. Like there are definitely lines in the sand where it's like quantum leaps. I've never made $10 million in a year. I would imagine that's a pretty big jump. I would imagine 50 mil is a pretty big jump in a year. 100 mil, a billion. But fighting and clawing your way for these annual incremental differences, I just don't find it to be that worthwhile once you're past certain lines. So for me, the 6-figure mark wasn't really that meaningful. I think $100,000 really ain't cracked up to be much anymore. $250,000, very noticeable difference in my happiness. Very noticeable. And at that point, I got to upgrade my life a little bit. I was no longer living in a 400 square foot apartment. I bought a car that I like. I didn't really look at the price of food when I went out. It's like, yeah, big difference. 500K, definitely noticeable. I wouldn't say it was as stark as that 250K jump. And then $1 million did not affect my lifestyle at all. But I will say my level of self-assuredness, my level of confidence, my level of belief in myself did change that number because it is such a classically significant number that everyone talks about. Everyone puts $1 million, a millionaire on a pedestal. So there was a psychological switch to that. But truly, my lifestyle did not change at all. The one thing that did change is I have noticed in the last few years, I give back way more than I ever have. Way more. I tip more. I take friends out to dinner more. I always pay for things if I'm in a group with people. I always pay for things if I'm with my family. Like that has changed. I think there's a switch in my brain when I hit that mark that took me out of this scarcity thinking that had been embedded in me as a kid. But again, did it really change my day to day? Not really. And on that note, one of the coolest things that has happened from making more money is being able to give better gifts to people in your life. And I think I've discovered what the best gift is that you can give to anyone. I think it's the highest ROI gift. I think hardly anyone's doing it, so you stand way out. And if you have a friend or family member and you pull this gift out, I guarantee you people's jaws are going to hit the floor and there might even be some tears shed. Now, I learned this last year, okay? My mom was going through a really tough time in her life, and I was trying to think about what to do that would be nice for her. And it's all the classic things: get her a massage, buy her some clothes, give her cash. I mean, cash is such a shitty gift in my opinion. It's just not very thought. I said, you know what? I'm going to buy her a ticket to France. Surprised her with a ticket to go to France. And she spent a couple of weeks out there and traveled to Spain and da-da-da-da-da. And it was so amazing. And it only cost me a couple $1,000s. The reaction that she had, the life-changing experiences that she had on that trip, the joy that she got from it. And I think the thing is, it's not even just about the dollar value. Most people are effing scared to travel. And so they need a catalyst. They need someone to prompt them that says, here's a ticket, you're going tomorrow. Even if the person can afford the ticket, it's surprising them with that impromptu trip and pushing them off the ledge that is so powerful. And my little sister turns 19 this month, and I'm doing the same thing for her. I'm surprising her with a ticket and a fully paid for trip to Bali, Indonesia. Now, does it cost money? Yeah, look, you got to be in a place where it makes sense. But if you're even considering giving someone cash or an expensive gift or a purse or this or that, buy them an impromptu plane ticket, surprise them. I promise you it's one of the best gifts you'll ever give. It's one of the best reactions that you'll ever see. And I think it has the highest impact on someone's life. And most people secretly need need to travel more. They're just too damn scared, especially in this country. Talking about gift giving and family, I'm going to share with you some effed up math. I call this family math. And this idea hit me a few years ago. And ever since then, I haven't been able to let it go. And in fact, this math is why I'm hopping on a plane today at 4 p.m. to fly up to San Francisco to go see my family. Okay, so the thing is, in America or in any Western country, 18 years old, it's expected that you leave the nest. You're kind of a weirdo if you don't. A lot of other countries, that's just not the case. America, they say, get the F out of here. So let's say you go to college, you're busy, you don't really see your family much. Then you get a job, you start working. So let's say you're 30 years old. And in that time, you've been really focused on yourself, right? Been focused on school, getting a job or building a business, creating your family, all those things. It comes to 30 years old and you start to recognize, well, my parents are getting older. My parents might only have 20 or 30 more years on this earth. And that kind of hits you one day. Whoa, holy shit. Like you can see them aging. You can see it happening. And then you start thinking, well, at what frequency am I seeing my parents? And this is mainly for people that live out of town. For me, I see my parents about 2 to 3 times per year. So I start doing the math. We're talking about somewhere in the neighborhood of like 40 to 90 more times that I'll see my family before they pass away, theoretically. And that math hits you and you say, holy shit, do I have my priorities in the right place? And this isn't just a me thing. I see this across the board. You're lucky if you see your family more than a handful of times every year if you live in a different city or a different state. And it's one of the things that I think we've gotten very, very wrong in Western culture is this idea of leaving the nest, this idea of dream independence and self-reliance and not needing anyone else, going and becoming this great individual on your own. And in the process, we typically lose touch with our family. And even if our relationships are good, it's not even about the quality of the relationship. It's just about the quantity, the frequency. And so anytime I've ever shared this math with people, it's kind of like, whoa, deer in the headlights. Holy smokes. Are you kidding me? So my message is to you, go and visit your family. And sometimes a visit isn't realistic. When you've got free time, you're driving, you're walking, you're doing a workout, call someone from your family, write someone from your family a handwritten note, send them a little video and text it to them, do something. And as you get older, you start to recognize that adults are just children with wrinkles and hair. And so if you are expecting your family, your parents to be the proactive one to guide and lead your relationship, you are sorely mistaken. It's a two-way street. Just because you're the kid does not mean you get a free pass for being belligerent in the relationship. So go love your family. All right, guys, this is kind of interesting. So we launched LIA in 2022, okay? It went gangbusters within about 3 months. Just kind of like went parabolic. And we've had hundreds of people go through LIA. I think slightly over 300 people have gone through LIA since then. And tons of people have graduated, right? It's a 12-month program. So people come to the end and they say, Sumner, hey, what's next? What's your higher level mastermind or this or that or more advanced this? And it's been a really common request. And frankly, I'm just going to give you a little dirty secret. In the coaching space, this is what everyone does. Okay. In the coaching space, what everyone does is get you in on the program, then they upsell. And it's just like you keep on going through the gauntlet of new program, more expensive, new program, more expensive. And I understand why they do it. Just a way to increase lifetime value. And I've always kind of been against it, right? I hate the idea of gatekeeping information, of saying, oh, you joined this one program, but we're keeping this information off limits. You got to pay us more for it. I just don't like that idea. But what I've also learned is that inside of LIA, we can only solve one problem for one demographic at a time. When I first created it, I figured we could work with everyone and solve every problem at once. And I've learned just not really possible. You need to curate groups where they're just focused on solving one problem at a time. And so in LIA, it's going and building a business in 12 months that reliably spits out 6 figures a year. By the time you graduate LIA, you should have 1 to 2 VAs in the business. You should be working about 30 to 45 hours a week in your business. So you're not fully maxed out on the delegation, but you're also not playing the game of hand-to-hand combat and doing everything yourself. That's the goal. We have a shocking amount of people hit that goal. And that's why we've created our 6-figure guarantee inside of LIA, because the stats tell us that we can do that. But anyways, one of the really popular requests is like, hey, well, I want to learn about subdividing or entitling and da-da-da-da. It's all the rage right now. Everyone's doing it. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's teaching it. And honestly, I don't feel that passionate about it. In fact, I'll correct myself. I don't feel passionate about it at all. And I don't really feel like I'm the best at it. I don't even want to pretend like I'm the best at it. Can I talk about it? I could teach it, honestly. I know enough, but there will be many instances that come up that I just aren't aware of or don't have experience with, and I don't really want to fake it, honestly. That's probably been one of the most popular requests. But I am finally planting my flag on the hill of what we're building next. In fact, we've already started working on this program. Before I talk about the nitty-gritty, I want to talk about what this program does. So this is the program to increase the return on your ad spend. Okay, so you make more for every dollar you put into marketing. This is the program to speed up your growth, as in you're doing 4 deals a month. How do we go do 6 or 8 deals a month without adding any more marketing or very little? And ultimately, this is the program to remove you from the day-to-day of your business and zoom you out by 10,000, 20,000 feet. You're not going to be at the 30,000 foot view yet. To do that, you need someone to help run operations, but you're going to be zoomed out. You're not going to be in the trenches. You're not going to be taking calls all day long. You're not going to be a victim of the business and what it needs on a day-to-day basis, which is where a lot of y'all are at, right? You guys are making good money, but you're a victim of the business. Any kind of reactive thing that comes in pulls you into the business. So this is what it solves. The beautiful thing is it solves it without really needing any huge, crazy investments into your business. You're not reinventing the wheel. skill. You don't need to go spend $1 billion on marketing. Pretty simple. This is the program, which I think is the only program that exists of this kind, that is going to be curated small classroom sizes. It'll be a 4 to 8 week program. We're still studying on the timeline. There's going to be 3 programs that go along with it. The first is how to source an acquisition manager. Not only how to source, but how to find the top talent. Because the difference of having a 5 out of 10 AM versus a 9 out of 10 AM is exponential. It's like the Richter scale. It's like a ridiculous jump. I've seen a lot of your guys' calls. I've looked in the background of a lot of y'all's businesses. Most of y'all don't know how to find good talent. Your AMs suck, to be totally honest. Turnover super high. They're not very committed to the vision. Just a terrible cycle to be in. And that's why people say, everything doesn't work. It's not for me. AMs don't work. VAs don't work. No, it's you, dog. You're the common denominator. Second, a program that actually allows you to push that AM, push that hire through and do the training for you. So all the SOPs, all the training's pre-built. All you say is, hey, hop in here, slide them through. They're trained. They're ramped up with our model. This is really tailored to what we do inside of LIA. So of course, it's positioned for our mid-market strategy and how we run the business. And then third, which may be the most important. In fact, what's interesting is there's literally zero, not 1 ounce of content around this that I can find at least. How to run a high performance, actually screw that, a max performance AM team, right? It's one thing to have the right talent. It's one thing to train them. It's another thing to lead. It's another thing to take people and get them to actually give you 100% day in and day out, to have them show up where they're excited to go to battle for you in your business. That comes from proper leadership. And there's so many benefits that come from it. Again, just from that alone, churn reduces, ROAS increases. Everything starts to improve in your business when you have people that are really bought in. Again, I've seen a lot of the back end of your guys' businesses. You might have people that are a 7 out of 10 on the talent scale, but they're giving you a 3 out of 10 on the effort. And the interesting thing about this business is that even with a 3 out of 10 on the effort, this business still theoretically works. It's not like your business is going to be failing because there's so much low hanging fruit here. But what happens when we take that person from a 3 out of 10 and put them at a 10 out of 10? Your business explodes. Now, everyone says that this business is sales and marketing. Say something, this is a sales and marketing business. And I used to buy into that. Yeah, 50-50 sales marketing, of course. I actually slightly disagree with that. I think this business is 99% sales and like 1% marketing. I don't really care about how you get the lead in the door. Like once you have a team in place, want to use texting or cold calling or direct mail, all that stuff, sure. How you get the lead in the door doesn't really matter. It's what you do once the lead's in the door. Now, if you're a beginner, there's a reason we recommend that you start with direct mail because you don't have the infrastructure to run any of these other channels. So anyways, I'm super excited about it. Something that I feel like I am uniquely positioned to solve, something that I'm actually deeply passionate about. And I always think about like, what's the impact of stuff that we create? And I think, could I go and teach a program about whatever, texting or fill in the blank thing? Yeah, sure. But to me, there's nothing that's going to be more impactful than this. And so many people don't have an AM, or if they do have an AM, they're terrible. Or if they do have an AM, they don't know how to manage them. So there's a huge opportunity to solve this problem for people. What's cool is that it's going to be a really condensed, compressed, hardcore program with coaching. So it's going to be like really compressed timelines, push people to actually move and not drag their feet. We want you to leave at the end of that program and have your AM placed, hired, and in training. Of course, you get lifetime access to the 3 programs to go along with it. We're also looking to partner with a few potential recruiters that may help recruit. If you want to hit the easy button, we would not be doing the recruiting. We'd not be doing the managing of the prospect or anything like that. But there's a few groups that we're looking at that if you want to hit the easy button, you certainly can, although it's important that you have the tool in your tool belt of how to hire. It is what will serve you probably greater than any other skill once you're past that $1 million mark in this business, finding talent, managing talent, leading talent. And most people don't even talk about it or pay attention to it. So anyway, super pumped. People also get access to our acquisition team. So they'll be inside the program coaching as well. I want to drop a waitlist link. Maybe I'll put it here. Maybe I'll put it somewhere else. I'm not quite sure, but we are dropping a waitlist on our website, landinvestor.co/AM. If you go there and you don't see anything yet, it's because it's still under development. Not sure when my team will have it done, but we'll be releasing a waitlist for this. And yeah, it'll be really small classroom sizes, like 10 to 15 people at a time. I think it's going to go, crush. Free restrictions, though, you got to be past 50K in gross profit in your business. There's a whole slew of things that you have to meet with a program to even make sense for you. All right, guys, well, that's all I got. Hopefully this was fun. I actually love recording these videos. I hope you enjoy them. Oh, last thing, our Las Vegas Mastermind, investor.co/mastermind. We're almost totally sold out of VIP tickets, and we've got a good amount of general admission tickets, but I think we're going to sell out of all of them, to be totally honest. We've got some crazy guest speakers. We haven't released all of them, but people like John Jasniak, Alan Faulkner. There's going to be some killers at this event, both some people that you obviously have heard of, and then hopefully some people that you haven't heard of that bring in some fresh new perspectives. It's going to be dope. All right, guys, take care of yourself.